Hello there guys, welcome back to another episode of 5 Things Learned after Manchester City's 2-0 victory over Crystal Palace. It was satisfying. It was interesting as well, actually. Genuinely loads of little kind of subplots emerged from that game. And today, of course, I'm going to look at 5 things that I personally took from that game. Before I do that, I want to say thank you to some of the latest patrons, by the way, because you guys have been supporting me loads, and a big love to every single one of you that's supporting the channel. But today, especially to these guys for being absolute legends and supporting me at patreon.com/esteemed company. To Sam L and Matthew Cato coming in at the $3 tier, thank you so much, guys. And also Justin Cure going really big at the $30 tier. And William Pritchard, mate, you're down there on the Patreon producer bit now because you've gone massive. Thank you so much. Really appreciated, William Pritchard. You're there alongside Ahmed Al Ali, and you'll be mentioned every single day in every single video for being an absolute hero. Thank you so much. Don't forget, by the way, if you want to help support the channel a little bit, patreon.com/esteemed company, or you become a member over at youtube.com/esteemed company/join. And I open up the fan view lives now to anyone who's a patron or anyone who is a member. So if you want to have a chat to me after one of the games every now and then, that's your best bet at doing that. For now, though, thank you to every single one of you supporting me. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe button. You're all absolutely awesome. As is... and I'm going to have to go here because it's the best way to go it, as is Sergio Aguero. And I put the bottom as I was wrong, because I am happy and humble enough to hold my hands up when I don't get something right, because guess what? No one gets everything right all the time, because that is life and it's impossible to get everything right. And what I was particularly wrong about Aguero is that I didn't think he was going to be able to find a way to influence this season or sharpness again, because I didn't think he'd get the game time, and I didn't think his body would actually trust him to actually not cave in. I'm not sure if that's true. I'm not sure if he's over his injuries. I'm not fully sure. Either way, one thing I know is that he was capable of being sharper than I realised. And yesterday, in particular, post that first goal, when his energy levels and his dynamism shot up a notch, I was beaming from ear to ear. I was absolutely delighted. And I wonder if Guardiola feels maybe potentially he was wrong about Aguero. Maybe Aguero's just kind of played his way back into contention for the end of the season. One thing I will say, I've got to offer the words of caution here, is when was the last time we felt like this about Aguero? It was literally over a year ago, which... It says everything, really. The problem is not Aguero's inherent quality. We all know he has that. It's more the fact that he can't stay on the pitch because we can't trust him because of his injuries, unfortunately. And I guess the worry is that if we caved in emotionally and gave him a contract, we could be looking at another season where he barely plays any because of injuries and all that kind of stuff. But right now in this second, we know what's happened, know what's going to be done, and let's just enjoy him for what he can bring potentially. And who knows, man? Maybe that dream scenario, that one big moment, is still hidden away in his locker. Maybe, just maybe, yesterday was a sign that Aguero could be very useful if in a particular big game we need a goal, you know. Who knows? Maybe we've just seen the proof that Aguero still has an incredible moment. Dare I say it in the Champions League or something like that? Who knows, man? Who knows? But either way, it was good to see that my instincts about Aguero being potentially not as sharp anymore. Maybe he isn't quite as sharp as he used to be, but he's still got something in there in the locker to be potentially useful. The next thing I want to say was Pep is right. So, and Pep was right about the rotation thing. He said it after the Leeds game. He said it after the Chelsea game. If I rotate and we win, I'm a genius. If I rotate and we lose, I'm a fraud. And pretty much, he didn't say fraud. I'm pretty certain he said something like that. But I guess the point he's making, he rotated yesterday and he was right to do it. And Manchester City found a way to win, which was never unreasonable given the quality of the squad that we've got. It was never unreasonable that we should make this many changes and see a drop off of that quality performance. It was never unreasonable for him to expect it to be enough. And I think yesterday proved that entirely. It was reasonable to expect with this change team, with the quality of players we've got, that they should be able to win games against mid-table sides. And yesterday we showed that. Unsurprisingly, Pep was right yet again. I know for Chelsea and I know Leeds were frustrating, but maybe Chelsea wasn't a mid-table side, admittedly. But in the Leeds particular circumstance, it should have been enough. And I think Guardiola knows that. Nicola's just walking around free in the background there. You're right. It's... just waffling away, basically. Not waffling away, she's walking around. She's about to go and get a dog. She's walking around. Anyway, you're so distracted, because he's on camera just walking around casually. Bless her. She does live here, to be fair, so she's allowed to walk around. It's just funny because all I can see in the corner of my eyes, Nicola. Either way, Pep was right about changes. He was right about rotating, and I think he's going to be proven right. Hopefully, when we play PSG, we've got a whole bunch of plays that are incredibly, incredibly fresh. Third thing I want to talk about, and it's kind of a little bit of a one that many won't agree, but I wanted to say this just to defend the player. I'm not saying that Mendy's going to be our first choice left back, but Mendy's clearly decent. And yesterday, Mendy had a genuinely good performance. I'm not saying it was world class, but it was good. It was a good performance, and I guess the point I'm making is that we probably shouldn't recoil in horror every time we see Mendy near a team sheet now, because he's actually a pretty decent player, and he showed yesterday that he genuinely has a bit of quality to his game. And who knows, man? Who knows? Life as a Manchester City fan can unfold and unravel in the most craziest of ways. And what's to say somehow he's still here next season? Not by design, just by circumstance. We don't manage to sell him or whatever. What's to say Zinchenko picks up an injury and then Mendy has to play a few more games than planned? And what's to say he doesn't play pretty well, you know? Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, and I'm not saying that's what should happen. I guess the point I'm making is he's probably not quite as bad as we thought he was. And obviously now he's played a few games. He's not been injured for some time. And he looks relatively in good shape, man. And yesterday, some of his inside passing was really, really intelligent. Genuinely. And of course as well, he got that assist. The assist was very, very, very impressive. So I guess the point I'm making is like Mendy's actually pretty decent, and Mendy's actually not a bad backup player, and Mendy got a good assist yesterday and played really well. Go watch the comps on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. He genuinely had a good game, and I guess the point we're making is that maybe we should support this lad because he's not a bad player, and even if it just gets us a few extra million if we try and sell him, it's a decent little sign. Fourth thing I want to talk about is I talked about in the match reaction is Torres, man. Ferran Torres. Maybe it's Torres' time next season. Maybe it is time for Ferran Torres to show just how good a footballer he is. I think he had a difficult time this year, man. I think it was really obvious by the fact that he was crying after he scored that goal. That's frustration from a difficult season. That's frustration probably from having COVID. That's frustration from probably feeling like he's not been able to enjoy life in Manchester. Like loads of things could have been causing that. But I think he struggled a little bit to settle in. But maybe Torres just needs time, and maybe it's Torres' time now to shine a little bit. But either way, I think it's really obvious that he has innate quality. I mean, his finishing is absolutely brilliant. Like, he's such a natural finisher. Like Aguero-esque in that way. Not quite that quality, but after Aguero, in terms of pure instinctive finishing, he's probably up there, genuinely. Like, he's probably our second most natural finisher in the squad at the moment. And I'm not exaggerating there, because Torres is a clearly good finisher. And I loved his reaction to that goal. And I also loved his little drives through midfield and all that kind of stuff. He looked more involved in a Premier League game than he has done for an awful long time yesterday. And I love that. He's so young, and let's see how he gets on next season, because I know a few people, not everyone, but a few people have written him off, and that is why I've always tried to defend him, because Torres just needs time. And maybe this is Torres' time. All I know, though, is like Torres and Aguero and Mendy and the guy I'm about to talk about next, them playing well yesterday. It bodes so well that having squad players play into form, and that's what they all are at the moment. Finally, as well, Ake promise, man. Like, Nathan Ake looked good. Nathan Ake, baby. Nathan Ake. I don't know if you can hear that, but Nicola went for the woe in the background. But either way, Nathan Ake showed promise yesterday. He genuinely did. I mean, we're so blessed to have a player of his quality as a backup defender. And another one who's had a bad season, through bad luck season, basically. He's not had a bad season. It's just been bad fortune, basically, because he's been injured all the time. He's never had an injury-prone spell in his career. Joins Manchester City and he spends loads and loads of time on the treatment table, which is so lucky, because he's clearly such a good footballer. I was so impressed with him and Laporte yesterday. They were both so mature, so focused, so alert. Their partnership seemed pretty good as well. They seem to kind of link it up with each other really, really well. And Ake shows that as far as backup defenders go, he's of really high quality. As a backup, he's more or less as good as he gets as a backup. Genuinely, absolutely, really, really encouraging. And he's another one that maybe needs a little bit of time next season. And once again, as I was just saying, the likes of Ake, Torres, Mendy, even Sergio finding a bit of form. This only bodes well going into the rest of potentially 2 more big games this season. You know, it only bodes really well, because you want your squad players fit and firing and all that kind of stuff, because you might need them, and you never know when that could happen. But guys, that is 5 things that I learned from this game. Of course, Manchester City could be winning the Premier League today. I kind of don't want it to happen. Not because I don't want Manchester City to win the Premier League, because I wanted to see it when City are on the pitch. You can disagree with that, I understand that, but I don't like it when we're just at home, when the players are at home, and they're on WhatsApp texting each other going, yeah, we won the league. I just want to see them out there, dropping to the knees, celebrating. It's just a personal thing. That's how I prefer it. I also probably don't want to make like 10 more videos today. I also want to kind of wind down and relax a little bit, but I don't think it'll happen. I don't think Liverpool will beat United personally, but either way, we do. I'll clearly be buzzing because we've won the league, but if I had a choice, we would get a point against Chelsea or beat Chelsea next week, and then we'd win the league, and it'd be absolutely great, and I'd be delighted. But either way, life is very, very good. City going to win the league. We've got a very fresh squad for the PSG game. You're all absolutely awesome. Go watch the match reaction from last night and the fan view live. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget. A big shout out as well to all my latest patrons, all absolute legends, and also the Patreon producers, William Pritchard and Ahmed Al-Ali, legends. For now, though, have a wonderful day.